You got that going live? What you live on? Oh, are you? Oh, that's crazy. Oh, you're. Oh, that's weird. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Speakeasy Podcast. We're here on location again at London's in Artesia, and we actually have a guest from London's. Tony used to work here, right?
Let me be clear. This isn't London. We're in Artesia, California.
The place is called London's.
Yeah, this is one of the bars.
I'm pretty sure they figured that shit out.
You know what? I don't know. Today's been weird, full of dumb shit. So
it's true. It's true.
Which we'll get to. Believe me, we will. I'm frustrated. Okay, so London's Pub and Grill, an amazing spot. If you've never been here, come here. And in order to give you a little bit more validity, I'm not going to sell it. I'm going to let the head chef sell it. So, Romo, what's up with London's?
Yeah, man, my name is Romo. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Welcome.
You're doing great.
Yeah, you're killing it. I ruined that.
All right, it's my first podcast. I don't really know what to do, but
it's all right, man.
Come to London's Pub and Grill in Artesia. We're located at 11651 Artesia Boulevard. I'm always here.
Why should they come, besides you always being here?
We got the frosted drinks. You guys all got drinks?
Look, I think you should come just for this glass. This glass is
we got better
shit.
glasses than that.
You have better glasses than these? Why are you holding out then?
Hold
it's
up.
Like the third one I get of these.
Let me accentuate the reality of the temperature of the beer. You have what is called a blizzard system, correct?
Yes.
And what that does is it keeps the beer between 27 and 30 degrees and Fahrenheit, just in case you're wondering, which means your beer is always fucking cold, okay? Badass beers, good ass drinks, and amazing ass food. The boy takes time. When he says he's here all day, he's not exaggerating. He is here day to night, like in the kitchen, busting his ass, cooking food. We tried some of it earlier, which you might see in the intro.
Wings are bomb. Say that much.
I mean, so as a cook, as a person who runs a kitchen, I'm sure that comes with a lot of necessary pride, right?
Always.
And having known you as much as I do, and as long as I have, there's a lot of pride in what you do, right?
Yes.
So you would say that this kitchen and this food is pretty badass.
Badass.
All right. Good.
I love your sausages in my mouth. They were good.
Bangers.
Yeah, Dan liked them too. He really dug them. He really dug them.
What would you say is your best dish?
Best dish over here right now, stick to the true things, is shepherd's pie.
Shepherd's pie.
Dino over there tried it.
Yep.
Shepherd's pie. I don't think I've ever had that.
You should try
Can you
it.
describe it?
It's ground beef with mixed vegetables in it. You know,
You look really young, Romel. Is it Romel or Romo?
Romo.
Oh, so Romo's like a nickname?
Easier to pronounce.
All right, cool. Well, I'll stick to Romel. I don't mind trying to pronounce it properly.
All right.
Got an Indian guest coming in next. I got to pronounce his shit properly too.
True. Yeah.
I got to challenge myself. To me, you look very young. How long have you been a chef?
Professionally, I say 10 years.
Damn.
So since he was 8.
Has cooking ever got you laid?
Always.
Yeah, get that, girls. Shit, that's what we like. We like good food. I'm sure they like it too.
Bangers.
Bangers.
Those that
Is that your word?
Bangers
your word?
is what they call sausages
Always.
here. Yeah. All right, man. Well, I just wanted to bring you on to pimp the spot. Seriously, come to London's. It's awesome. The food is good. The place is immaculate. It's beautiful, outside and inside. The food is all right. Just kidding.
Yeah, we'll give you guys a little sneak peek.
Right?
We in here.
We'll give you a little sneak peek, and then down below you can follow them on social media and stuff, and come and check it out.
Down
Yeah,
below.
it's YouTube,
like it.
so we could do this bullshit.
Yeah,
right
we go
there.
like this,
Yeah,
somewhere like this.
for sure.
Or here.
And ladies, he knows how to cook. If you're not,
Yeah.
you know? All right, cool.
You guys come and try this banger.
Banger. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Speakeasy.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks, Romel. Tony.
Y'all fucking.
Yeah. Everybody's fucked up. Welcome back to the Speakeasy Podcast. It's a special energy today where we got special guests, we got master chefs, and now we're bringing a future doctor, very close. He's a masturbator and he's an engineer. Oh, sorry. He's a masturbator. I think we're all masturbators, but he's the only one that is a professor at Cal State Long Beach and soon-to-be doctor. Coming to the stage is Rahul, my boy from the gas lamp in Long Beach. How are you, brother?
Doing great, man.
Yeah, and don't worry, guys. Tony's coming in right now. He was over
Professional
there
masturbator.
drinking water. Professional masturbator.
Fucking bullshit.
Keep that mic up. Talk to him.
What's up?
It's his first podcast too, as Romo, and so mic is everything. We want to hear you, want to be able to hear you. So keep that up
Sounds
to your
great.
mouth. Don't let the phallic shape, intimidate you.
I feel like it should encourage you.
I'm divided.
So you guys just saw him come on. It's like whatever, but he's been here for 3 hours. Dan's been here for 4 hours. Tony's been making this happen. So I want to put it out there because if we're gonna talk about it, we might as well.
We're talking about it. Okay,
might as
look.
well talk about it right off the fucking bat.
This episode has
Look at
taken
Josh. Talk about
so
what?
much effort
A lot of
that
effort.
it is just I'm very bothered. So much, in fact, that I called all the way to India to get us an IT guy to fix this shit. Thank you for coming. He showed up. He snapped his fingers. He did like a. He did like
His
a.
name is Raul. Oh no, that's his California name.
Yeah.
American name.
His American name. Because he looks like a Raul.
So no, this is what happened. We'd been going through audio troubles. We couldn't pick up the audio. The camera was working fine. Everything was cool, but we couldn't hear anything. I called him. He showed up and he said, "Did you try turning it off and turning it back on?" And that shit worked. So now we're here.
Lesson learned. No one's at fault here. No one did anything.
No, not one person fucked
Except
up.
this dude right here
one person did
might have
anything wrong.
participated in ruining technical issues or whatever.
Anyways, the
Yeah.
good news is we have drank quite a bit during
That
this
is
point, so you're in for a fucking treat.
Yeah, and I ate Fruity Pebbles.
I had a format. I threw it out. We're gonna talk to this guy who's a future doctor. I'm pretty sure that's.
I want to say a little something. Like, this guy, I know him for a little bit, and it's through comedy. So I used to run a show at the gas lamp in Long Beach, which, you know what? I might be able to hook us up there. Well, actually, remind me to do that. I think that'll be our next spot because we could do it on Tuesdays, and it's no. Anyways, so I ran a show there, and he would always come, whether by himself or he'd bring a friend sometime. But he loved comedy, and we'd stay and we'd talk about conspiracy theories and the bees dying and fucking weed and all sorts of shit, And it was just very, very entertaining. So when we know that we have this podcast, I'm like, I've always thought I gotta bring this guy on because I enjoy talking to you. Your mind works unlike any other mind I've experienced, and it's entertaining as fuck. And you know a lot of shit, so you're always educating me, and I always appreciate that kind of shit. So that's why I brought you on, because with this collaborative mindset, who knows what's gonna come out of our mouth.
And realistically, we're not gonna let him speak at all. We're gonna talk, and he's just gonna sit here and laugh at us. And
That's
everything
pretty
else.
much why I'm here.
He's like,
Like, this is a stand-up show where I'm on camera too.
he's like that orange slice that they put on Mexican food.
Pretty much.
What are you doing here? What is it?
What do you do with that slice?
He's the grass next to the beef that you're just like, what the
He's the
fuck?
lettuce under the guacamole. Like, why'd you ruin guacamole? I don't like that
So
shit.
tell us a bit about yourself so that you can actually
Yeah.
talk.
So in a nutshell, I'm not a doctor. Okay. I'm not a professor either.
Were you on? What? You were on a TV show for $1 million, and you went through your lifetime. You realized certain facts that allow you to win, and now you're a millionaire.
Okay.
That's not your story?
No,
That's not what
not
it-
at all.
it wasn't a question.
Not at all.
Oh.
Yeah, no,
Shit.
sorry. Wrong
Okay.
movie.
Yeah.
My story doesn't make a movie.
I just got that.
It's a very boring movie if it does.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Slumdog, dude.
Come on,
I
bro.
never saw the movie.
What?
That's racist.
Come on.
Nothing
Why
I
did you
said
not
was.
see it?
Oh, I like Bollywood. It's all good.
Yeah, that
That's
was
not
good.
Bollywood either.
That was
Come
great.
on, man.
That was great.
Anyways, well, okay, we did our racist jokes. Go ahead.
What were the main characters' names? I used to call a girl that. We call each other that.
Are we gonna let him talk?
I just, no, come on. If anybody knows the answer, he would know the answer.
No, I really don't.
Damn it.
Yeah,
I'll remember.
yeah.
I'll
I've lost
remember.
just as much as you.
I'll
He's a
remember. So
lifeline.
explain this whole, you're not a professor, you're not a doctor shit.
So, I'm in school doing my PhD and I teach part-time. So, I'm a part-time lecturer.
Okay.
Oh.
Yes, just a clarification. And I'm not a doctor. I'm going doing my PhD in chemical engineering and applied math. So, Yeah, I
But
cannot.
that's gonna make you a doctor once you finish it, right?
Yeah,
I have to call you doctor.
Don't come and show me random warts in random places. I don't
That
want to
was
see
Tony.
them.
Tony wanted to show you a growth.
I'm not. Yeah, you can go ahead and check that out.
So what can I show you once you become a doctor? What am I allowed to show you?
Nothing. Nothing.
Bullshit.
You want to talk about the bees disappearing or like chemtrails and
Yeah.
nonsense like that? Totally. I'm part of that
I
discussion.
want to talk about that shit today.
Let's
You
go
know
for
what's
that.
funny is I feel like anyone that talked to me about conspiracy theories, I would automatically just shut them down and say, "Shut up." Okay.
Whoa.
But then you show up, and I feel like, well, fuck, he probably knows more about
Yeah,
anything that
that's
we're
why
talking
I like
about
talking to him. You
than
know,
I
because
do. So maybe I should
people
listen.
I talk about this shit all the time. I bring up conspiracy theories. I question.
think you're a
things,
nut, right?
And they think I'm a nutbag.
Yeah, so-
And look, some of the stuff that I bring up is meant to punch you in the throat, to shock you.
Food for thought.
For example,
Food for thought. Yeah, that dumbass post.
Okay, so Facebook.
No clue what you're talking about.
Okay, I'll explain. So Anthony Bourdain committed suicide,
Oh,
right?
yeah. I'm
Okay.
down about that.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
really
yeah.
down.
It broke my heart, like legit. I love that guy. I just love that guy. But I know
You
that
loved
he was.
him. He's dead.
I love him,
Yeah.
and but you know, I'm getting really into the whole human trafficking and sex trafficking and child trafficking, not as a hobby or as a career. But I'm getting into it. Is just educating myself on how extreme it is.
Good to know.
You know, it's a $32 billion industry. You know, our government lost 1,500 kids, and makes me question what happened to those kids. And Anthony was an advocate of that stuff. He brought attention to it, along with other artists that also brought attention to this stuff. And when famous people who have a following, who have the attention of society on whatever capacity, it's a risk. You take a risk with these higher powers, because look, I just believe in balance in life, yin and yang. So if there's a Mother Teresa, if there's a beautiful human being that will take any stray human, animal, whatever, there has to be the other side. There has to be
You need 10 Hitlers to compensate. Yes.
You know, so-
you do. Yeah.
So just with that, I just brought up the question: did he really commit suicide? Was he murdered? Who knows? But there's all these other things like Chester and Chris Cornell dying like a week apart, the same way. Kind of suspect. It's so suspect, and that's it. I want the question to be asked, because the underlying this trafficking is so huge, and there's rings of people in politics, in Hollywood. You know, there's a RICO case against Harvey Weinstein. You know, if you know RICO, that means there's a group of them that could all go down if he goes down. So it's a group, and it's in relation to this topic. So I just think bigger picture.
Yeah.
And that's one of those conspiracies for me that just interesting.
Beyond the sex trafficking and everything, it's the organ trafficking that really scares me.
There's more money in it.
There's way more money in it. Like, a lot of my work revolves around what is organ trafficking all about? We have too many people with faulty organs. And we need replacements.
Yep.
Where do we get them from?
Like a car.
Poor countries, because we cannot make them. A lot of my work is in 3D printing and going towards organ printing, and that seems to be the simplest, easiest solution, because killing a human, getting human being's
Did
organ.
you just say organ printing?
Organ printing.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Like 3D printing, but with an organ.
Complete organ
Does
replacement.
that mean like any organ on my
And-
body?
So,
I like how you said Oregon.
External or otherwise.
Any
no.
organ. No organ.
There are penis enlargement pills if you really need that. They don't really
what
work,
are you
but
talking
sure,
about?
go.
So the one with
Sure.
the big ass goat on it, like
Yeah.
Yeah, the one's at Arco when you pay.
No, we are talking about things like, at the most basic level, the heart. Okay, the heart, kidney, liver are the highest on the priority matrix. Now, kidney and liver are a little harder to get around to. Heart is the closest, easiest target. And a lot of people are killed just to extract their hearts.
You brought up a good point. They're literally killed, not even trafficked. Like
Yeah.
they don't even want to deal with the
No.
trafficking.
No.
They're just like, pop, Take out the heart.
Take the heart.
Why would they
and
do that? There's a lot of people willing to sell their organs, like me. Do you know a guy?
My heart is readily
My
available.
liver is good. 'cause
Yeah,
I
he don't even drink.
My liver's good.
He could get twice. He
You
could
need a
twice
new
the
liver?
market.
Look at
value.
He's drinking water. That
me
heart is
up.
fucking
And it's
pumping.
a big ass liver, so you
And
can
look
probably
at
get
he's
two livers out of one.
that heart is pumping blood through that beautiful,
Yeah.
robust
Strong
body.
too. I hear it beating. It's trying.
with the liver, you can live on just half a liver. You know that, right?
Yeah.
I think
You could sell 3 livers.
Yeah.
Walter, I've been living
Still
on
have
half a liver for a
left.
while.
Y'all
I've been
get at
living
me.
on
That's
half a
how I'm
liver for a
living.
while.
I'm sure in 5 years I'll have to give Tony one.
I drink a lot of
Thanks,
water,
man.
so I think I'm good with that. You know,
This is
No,
water,
so
right?
internally, all the liver supply is dealt with.
this side of the table more so.
This is the receiving end.
This side's pretty clean.
Okay, so we covered a lot of topics right now in like 2 minutes.
mainly-
We went from human trafficking, losing children. By the way, I was lost at the indoor swap meet once, so I think it's possible to lose 1,500 kids. I'm just saying, if you're a bad mother,
if you're a
then
bad
it can
mother
happen.
or a bunch of bad correctional officers,
No,
then-
but yeah, realistically. And then we moved to Oregon specifically, which is like
well, he was
pinpointing it.
addressing
Yeah,
a
That is-
solution to the trafficking.
which is 3D
Yeah,
printing.
that's something that has obsessed me for a very long time. It's like, hey, we have a solution to this, because just killing someone and extracting their heart and putting it into another human being is not going to work. You have anywhere from 70 to 90% rejection rate.
Yeah.
Now,
So does Josh. Yeah.
that's just brutal. Come on, dude. He has great personality.
Did you hear what he said? He said that was fucking rude, dude.
It was
he
rude
said
when
he
he
had a
switched the
great
fucking plugs,
I'm gonna fucking wipe that beard off your face.
hindering our ability to do a podcast.
I thought we were over this guy.
I'm not over it.
Maybe the people who
Let's
messed
go
with that
back.
should have fixed
Let's
it.
go back to human
They should have
trafficking.
noticed right away.
Let's go back to human trafficking.
So,
Yeah.
when
I'm
we
so
talk
mad.
about 3D printed organs, the beauty of it is we use stem cells. Now, the power of stem cells is it is 100% you. So, there is no chance of rejection. It is you. And
Love thyself. Yeah, sure.
love
Yeah.
thyself. And the thing is, this is something I did about 4 years ago. I found some random MRI scan somewhere on the internet.
Yeah.
I generated.
As one does.
As one does. I generated
That's
a
what I
3D
do when I'm on
scaffold for
Google.
it, and I 3D printed it in plastic. But it is the size of a human heart, and it's squeezy and flexy and everything.
Wow, I bought a fleshlight last week. Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
I don't
Yeah,
play with
can you
that.
print me out a wife, please?
He wants a wife. He wants
That's
a whole
coming
wife.
sooner than you expect.
Awesome.
There you go.
Where do I sign
Okay,
up for that?
so I have a question with regards to this. Even with the advances in science and the ability to actually create something that can withstand the necessities that a human being needs, do you think that this was going to stop the trafficking? Mainly because I feel like that's become such a business with monetary gain that it really doesn't matter. Or do you think that it'll help alleviate the crime because of it?
At the best, see, what it's really going to do is disrupt.
Okay.
It's not going to completely wipe it out, because
Right.
things like kidneys and lungs and livers are way too complex networks for us to even imagine 3D printing today.
Okay.
The heart is, strangely enough, simple.
So basically,
It's
Ironically
simple.
enough, it's
yeah,
pretty simple, yeah.
it's simple and it's doable. So we are not in the next 5 to 10 years. We are not going to have a 3D printed heart. We are probably going to have a 3D printed heart valve.
Okay.
We are going to start from there, because it all starts with heart valve replacements. Now you have to understand something as simple as a heart valve. Where do we get it today from? We make synthetics, okay, or we use pig valves. Now pig valves work better than synthetics, but pig valves totally cut out Jews, Muslims. They
Yep.
aren't going to take
Because
it.
they're not going to have a pig inside of them.
Exactly. So that means what? We condemn. They are more than 50% of the planet's population. Are we going to condemn them to death? So,
Well, I mean, that becomes a moral dilemma on an individual basis, right?
It
I mean,
essentially
where you're
becomes.
essentially saying like, do I want a pig inside me, which contradicts my religion, just to live and
I
continue
love
to
pig
follow
inside
that
me.
religion, or do I would
my
just rather
pastor.
die and meet,
Correcto.
whatever maker that
whoop,
they
whoop.
have?
exactly.
Yeah.
And see, I mean, I'm an atheist. Every scientist, any any scientist who claims to believe in any version of God is not a scientist.
Yeah, I'm a Libra. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'm a Libra too.
Oh shit.
Interesting.
Yeah, you guys have a lot of comments. You both look Indian.
We both look Indian slash Mexican and ambiguous ethnicity.
You both look like Rahul.
Ambiguous ethnicities. So
I think to answer
Yeah.
your question, Tony, I think basically what's going to happen is instead of $32 billion, it'll be like $28 billion.
yeah.
Like it's just going to dent it.
And
It'll never. I don't think it'll ever wipe it out. It's one of those.
It will.
It's one of those things. No, because sex trafficking will still
That
exist.
will remain.
It will remain forever.
Perversion is never going away.
It will never
Let's
go away.
take away the medical need at least. Is the best we can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which will make it a $20 million.
I mean, and this goes. I mean, I want to.
industry.
This goes back to the big picture of what Walter. I feel like a lot of the big picture things that Walter gets is that big picture. Like that's And what I think is sometimes that you don't focus on is the little picture. Like remember the metaphor I had of a room of 30 people, where every single person tried to be the best them they can be, the best individual, instead of worrying about number 20 and number 23 and number 4 and number 5. Like they just said, what number am I and how could I make that the most valuable? How can I make that the best person that I can be? And if everyone did that, then that entire room would just bolster with awesomeness and creativity.
They would all feel like number ones.
Yeah, exactly. Without worrying about
Yeah.
who number 2 was, because they're number 1 in their mind, right?
Yeah.
So I think sometimes, and I mean, I see every post you make, and I never comment because I don't want to be a part of a conversation that like has a lack of balance in terms of idiocy and
Yeah.
intelligence.
And there's a lot. When you have 370 comments.
Yeah, and likewise, I
gonna-
also don't delete anyone on Facebook because I need to know that stupidity exists. And if you're offended,
Dude.
you're probably one of the stupid people.
Yeah.
So
I was almost stupid this last week. I really wanted to delete some people. Like
Yeah.
I reached this point where I was done with the idiocy. Like there was no. You see, one of the things I appreciate, which I'm proud that I don't delete people just because I have different views. I actually I like that engagement, and I say it, and I post about it. Like I like you being here. I like you making me aware of other shit.
yeah,
other
you
perspectives.
also do that. To your
You know?
credit, you do. You say, I've
'Cause
never
I
looked
like
at it this way.
How else are you gonna get smart? How else are you? I mean, the more I know about my opponent,
Yeah.
the better I'm gonna be equipped to battle them.
Right, and not only that, but I feel like if you delete
I wanna be
delete
smarter.
everyone that disagrees with you on Facebook, then you create a bubble, and that bubble is every single belief that you have without any juxtaposition to balance it out with, whether it's right or wrong. And more often than not, you might be wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
You are wrong.
Yeah.
On some level,
On some level, you are just wrong. That's the problem with the internet today, right? Everyone is in this self-reinforcing bias bubble, and everyone only joins these certain groups where, hey, I'm an idiot and these are other idiots just like
Let's
me.
be idiots together.
Yeah, and it's like, let's all be idiots together, and suddenly I feel so brilliant.
Yeah.
And that's essentially what the entire internet has degenerated into. It came about as this platform for open thought and open communication. But what is the internet reduced down to?
Yeah.
And the curse of everything is,
I just think that
shouldn't
was-
say this, but I think social media is purely to blame. I think
Oh, yeah,
social
big
media is
time.
absolutely crazy.
hugely,
it's-
hugely to blame.
It's going down a crazy pathway where everyone is creating and just building deeper and deeper and just digging their graves deeper and deeper, and just like, okay, I want to hear only some things. And I've noticed this amongst friends, I've noticed them amongst colleagues, and I teach, so I've seen this amongst students too.
Yeah.
It's like, hey dude, you're sitting right next to this guy, why do you have to send it through your phone to a satellite, from the satellite to his phone, and then reply back and forth this way when you can just turn your face and say, hey.
Well, he has to go through all that
Like,
trouble, or else you'll
yeah.
catch him cheating.
You can't speak emoji, so
Yeah, it's like, I'm not getting started on emojis.
Oh, no, let's
I'm not even
Now I
getting
want you to get started because you're passionate about that shit.
that. So I did have this one student in the lab who would only communicate in emojis. And
How did that? Like, did she hold
ambulance,
up a happy face?
ambulance girl in a skirt. I don't know what any of these things even mean.
Let's translate it.
Banana. I just
Okay,
random.
it
bunch of
sounds like
pictures.
she got dicked down
Female,
hard
yeah.
and needed to go to the hospital.
And
I
then,
have
in
no
order to avoid
have no clue.
cramps, she ate bananas for potassium.
I have no clue. So after 1 week of this
much
communication,
sense. Oh my God.
it came down to,
Or that.
hey, either you call or I'm not talking to you. Just no text
But
at
wait a
all
minute,
allowed.
was she texting you?
This is how we would communicate. Like she would text me with
That a
random
boy
strings.
professor?
No, man, this was apparently work related, and the
Apparently.
only yeah.
Did she send you an eggplant at all?
I don't know. There are lots of pictures.
Okay, if you get an eggplant,
That means she's down.
you're in there, man.
Oh,
That means she wants the
no,
lecturer.
no. I made life simple. Hey, call or no communication.
Because you're a lecturer, not a professor. A
Yeah.
professor would have fucked her. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's
I get
true.
it.
Ah,
I get
okay.
it.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Didn't know it was supposed to be work related. It seemed kind of crazy. It's like, whoa, I don't understand. What the hell are you asking me? Because it always ended with a question mark, and it's like I don't know the question. It's like anyone your Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Hitchhiker's Guide, yeah.
It's like
42.
Yeah, I can reply 42 to every one of your questions.
And I think
but
you'd be right. Yeah.
I most probably will be right, but I still don't know the damn question. The mice still rule our planet.
Fucking mice.
So
What
okay,
does rule our planet?
42.
I feel like he'll know the answer to that shit.
Well, being in the college
Jackie
setting
Robinson?
is pretty important, I think, because I feel like I have 5 siblings beneath me, and all of them have asked me how important is college, right, and whether or not they should go or they should gear towards that. And the 2 beneath me, 2 years and then I think 7 years, they one of them didn't even try. They just went straight into motherhood, right? And she's doing an amazing job. It's not a downfall for her or anything. The second one has been trying and just hasn't been doing all that well. Finally went into a culinary, which is like more specific. The third one is basically a carbon copy of me. Straight to Cal State Long Beach, doing her thing, you know, not the same major, but she's just going, right? But her mentality is, I'm doing this because I have to. Now, in the college setting, what I realized, I took an 8-year break before I went back to college. And I realized that the group age that I'm talking about, I'm saying 20 to 25, there's a very different necessity for college in their mindset. And I'm asking you from the professor's standpoint, I'm going to call
Lecturer.
you professor, right?
Okay.
Do you see that like apparent in your level of teaching? Because when you go to Cal State, you're paying for it. Like you're saying, I want to be here, as opposed to high school or even a community college where you're not sure. Like you're choosing to be here. Do you still see that mindset of like, I feel like I'm wasting my time. Why am I mean, in your field, I feel like you're pretty sure you want to be there. But
I'll
is
be
there
I'll be a little honest.
Yeah.
Okay, about this. I find the entire education system messed up.
Yeah,
I
okay.
actually find it in total
Yeah,
chaos.
it's your fault, not mine.
Yeah, and no, the whole thing, and what I've noticed is the
Sure,
problem
problem
starts
I
at
can't
the
add.
high school level.
high school level
Because
for sure.
I have
yeah.
morons enter my class. It's like, dude, you are supposed to be in your 2nd or 3rd year of college. I'm not the guy who's supposed to teach you 8th or 9th grade math. Okay, you claim to be an engineer. Calculus
Sorry.
is something you should do in your sleep. And if I have to teach you basic calc, come on, man,
Yeah.
you're wasting my time.
That's
Besides
scary
that,
to hear.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
very scary to hear.
Yeah, I know that word is scary. Calculus? Oh, what?
I'm sure.
What is
You know what?
that?
Calculus is
What
really easy.
is that?
Oh, you want to know the simple? Here's calculus in a nutshell. It's one language to talk to an atom and talk to the universe simultaneously.
Bam, you got
Yeah,
that?
it's super easy.
It's
Bro.
really easy.
I just almost fell
You don't
asleep.
even need Eve. You just need Adam.
That's what I've been doing the last
Fuck that
several
bitch.
years. It's been all Adam for me.
No eaves. No eaves.
No Eve. No Eve.
No Eves.
I've been Eveless for
All
quite some
hand up.
time.
This goes back to the Kama Sutra conversation.
Yeah. We try to circle back around a lot. You know, that's the thing.
We'll get you
It's all
that
by
3D
design.
organ, Josh.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
We're gonna get you that 3D.
I think they can make
penis.
vaginas 3D.
No one.
They
touched
have
my-
already a fleshlight. I can't believe you didn't know what that was, Walter.
I can't. You know what? I'm proud I didn't know that it was. I fucking experienced real fleshlight.
Janice Griffith has just released a fleshlight. Feel free to purchase it. It is a new color. It's
Janice
Indian
Griffin, the cartoon.
Griffin. Yeah, we'll be right back after this.
Fleshlight.
Hey, welcome back to Speakeasy Podcast. We're back with my boy from 7-Eleven. I'm sorry.
Thank you. Come again.
You went that route.
Dude, that's all I
7-Eleven.
Really, dude?
I was
That's all I
disappointed
wanted.
in your.
Yeah.
They own so
come
much
on.
more now.
They own so much more. You could have gotten Arco.
Roadway Inn, Days
Sorry.
Inn, Best Western,
Random
Motel
ass inns.
6.
Motel 7.
There is a Motel 8. There's a Hazy
Oh, yeah,
8.
Motel
It's
7.
pretty
Hazy
raunchy.
8?
Yeah.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, it comes with a vibrating bed.
Yeah.
Really? Wow,
Mirrors
interesting.
on the ceiling. Yeah,
Is
it's
it,
fantastic.
do you know the history of how your people got into 7-Elevens? Because it's a dominant, like you guys dominate that shit.
Best not have this conversation on the air.
Oh,
Okay,
Knows
yeah.
the answer.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
shady
You
shit
know,
that
you
went
know,
down.
you
No. So here's the thing. There's no such thing called India. There's no such thing called an Indian. Okay, there is no such thing. It's a myth.
Mind blown.
Yeah. When two Indians meet, all we are really trying to do is figure out each other's last name. Just that last
what?
name tells us the last 5,000 years of your bloodline.
Really?
Yes.
Like for
we know
instance,
what you do.
the people that own this place,
Yes.
Patel.
Patel.
Let's not continue the conversation
We're not
again.
gonna talk on
Oh, Patel's the enemy. Hey, Patel.
No, there's no enmity, but instantly we know. We just know.
Yeah,
Okay.
and he don't want to share what he know. That's what's happening.
Hey man, this is in every culture across the world. Okay. Yes, in Indian culture, it is a little more.
It seems
yeah.
a lot more intense because I
Yeah,
know
you goat
It is a
fuckers.
bit more intense.
Another
Quit
race.
fucking goats.
I don't even think they're part of my group. I'm like, whatever.
Goat fuckers.
No, so it's a little more complicated in India because there never was a country called India. The British just conquered a bunch of little kingdoms like Europe
Oh, okay.
and packaged them all together conveniently into this country called
Fine.
India. So
I'm
we
not
don't.
Salvadorian then. I'm Mayan.
We have
Fucking wankers.
24 official languages. Okay, and all
Your-
languages are different.
Your country alone.
Yes. Like my mother and father speak two entirely different languages. They have two different
Mine too.
religions. And my first
Mexico's kind of like that. I would call them more dialects though.
no, different languages.
Yeah.
I cannot speak either of their languages. The only language my parents can communicate with each other is in English. Imagine that. My first language is English and I'm Indian.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how
Couldn't tell by that
complicated.
accent.
Exactly.
Fooled me.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Cheers to that, dude.
Fooled me.
Cheers
Yeah,
to
cheers to
accents.
that.
Boom.
Real confusing.
Racism.
I have an Indianized English accent. That's it.
Yeah, I could see that
Uh,
for sure.
Josh is not racist. I
No,
can
I'm
vouch
really
for it.
not.
But now I feel like one of those people that I go on camera like,
Yeah.
I know him so well. Trust me.
Now you have to
what
vouch for him.
saw,
Yeah,
what
you have to vouch
heard
for him. He's a
with your
good
own
guy.
eyes and ears. Don't
Sorry,
apply
I
to
took too
him.
many Quaaludes.
I feel like this isn't the first time we've had to defend his views. I remember
kinda
a
true.
particular Holocaust conversation.
Whoa, whoa,
Whoa,
whoa,
whoa. I would love to get into that
Don't you be
Oh, let's
conversation.
get into the Holocaust.
That's why you can't put Jaeger in my body no more. Just be reliving the History Channel. and
Is it
shit.
your middle name Adolf?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He calls himself Adolfo.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is not real. I'm not really a Nazi.
Yeah. Well,
He just comes from Nazi heritage.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it takes a few years to get rid of that DNA,
yeah,
right?
so what?
Yeah, I'm
Like
still
a couple
working on it.
hundred years.
Yeah, I mean, to each their own. Back then, they had their views for certain reasons.
well, I like that earlier. He said one Mother Teresa equals 10 Hitlers. That was an amazing comparison.
That's the reality of humanity.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
it is.
One really good person
Yeah.
equates to a bunch of evil dickheads, right? Yeah.
Because we
Yeah.
are a shitty species. We are a virus. Okay, the nicest way to explain our species is we are a virus. We consume, we destroy.
Oh yeah, for
And
sure.
then we move on to the next.
And just
Yeah.
to be clear, he said virus, not virus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Virus. We are viruses.
We are a virus.
Or is it
We're the
virus
only
I?
things
I
that
don't
just
know.
Fucking take anything and eat it and consume it and spit it out and not put it
And
back.
ironically
Yeah.
enough, I am poisoning myself as a virus.
Look at the choices we make. We decide to get drunk and talk
this is a
about
decision.
funny shit.
Right, right. And assume that people care
And assume
enough
that
to
people
watch
care,
us.
right?
Hey, well, look at it. People are caring.
Yeah.
This just in. No one cares. Hey, no one's gonna see this, doctor.
Right.
Just in.
He's gonna get a letter from
I
Cal
think-
State Long Beach.
I
We
think-
regret to inform you
That
that,
you-
your position as lecturer,
Luckily for him, he's gonna
parentheses,
work on his
not
thesis.
doctor, not
He's
professor.
hereby terminated.
Hey, let's give a shout out back to his call center.
And send us one
Give
more.
us a follow.
Send us one more. You have $1.5 billion extra.
Hey, you know what? Maybe
follow.
they'll hire you here.
We need more likes. All right.
Not with his opinion of the Patels.
No, it's my opinions about everything, dude.
I like it. I'm just clowning.
Well, I don't know. Of the many Indians that I've met while working here, every one of them is great. They just have different varying degrees of rudeness.
Yeah.
and it's not on purpose.
Well,
That's
then I
just
think your
simply-
definition of great needs to change.
Have
Then
you-
it's not great
Look,
at all.
Yeah,
no,
that's not great.
a
at
lot
all.
of great people are rude. I myself am very rude. So the people.
Thus,
Then
not
you
great.
give yourself the stamp of approval. I'm a great person.
Oh, I stamp myself every day.
I'm like, I'm a great person is what you're working with.
Yeah, I look in the mirror and say, "You're an amazing specimen." But it's a mirror that just goes from like neck up.
I just want to apologize to the viewers. Josh left for a second, and then he came back.
Don't talk to me, Walter. Don't look at me right now. God.
He literally disappeared. I looked
Did he?
over there. He's like, like, bitch, we're on a podcast right now. You want to pay attention?
So the assumption is the last 10 minutes have zero value. Let's
But I disagree. I'm sure somebody found it valuable.
Yeah, probably.
During the break, we had another beer. Okay, let's just work with that. Okay.
Yes. Okay. All right. So
Don't
let's
make fun of
go
my
back to
ADD.
something at least that holds some modicum of respect, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what is your plan in terms of like you're researching organs?
No. That's not what I'm researching. I'm researching the technology behind it. Okay,
Shit.
yeah, yeah,
All right.
yeah.
My
So,
bad.
When you say the
sister-
technology-
my sister is working on the biology side of things.
yeah.
So this shit runs in the family? You guys are into this together? Like,
Yeah, my sister does stem cell research at Stanford.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so that's kind of what I wanted to lead to. With back to the stem, it's not so much prominent right now, but I would say maybe 5 to 10 years ago, stem cell research was something that was very, very taboo, and a lot of people were against it.
Yeah.
I haven't heard much about that recently.
Yeah.
Has the
You wanna
entire
know why?
stigma changed?
Why?
or-
You want to know why?
I do want
Very,
to. That's
very
why I'm
simple.
asking you.
Back in the day, stem cells were stupid. Okay, what we were doing is we were looking
You're
at
stupid.
we were looking at aborted fetuses.
Okay.
Okay, and it was insane.
When you look at 'em, are you like,
I don't know the father. I don't know the mother. I don't know where these genes came from. I don't know where these cells came from.
You're
All
just
I
looking
know-
at this puddle of
it's a
bullshit.
puddle of goop, which
Yeah.
is stem cell, and we can multiply it and make whatever we want out of it. That's insane. Science has moved way beyond.
Nice.
Thank you, Church. It's the Roman Catholic Church who is single-handedly.
Finally, they did something good.
I have never heard someone thank the Roman Catholic
Me neither.
Church.
Thank you, Roman Catholic Church, because they had such a big issue over it. Science pushed
I'd
into
like to
new
thank you.
frontiers. Today, all it takes is one drop of blood, your blood, which can be taken backwards into making your stem cells.
Wow.
DNA, genetically, it is 100% you.
Yes.
And
So
There's no
religion,
more taboo.
religion
Religion cannot have an
actively altered
religion
the.
helped.
Wow.
Religion helped.
That's amazing. I mean, typically,
No.
religion versus science
Yeah.
is
No,
a battle
I'm
that
not
is
a
long
fan of
withstanding.
religion.
Yeah, my
Hey, can
personal
you answer
thing
mine
is
now?
religion is a necessary evil. I've always thought that.
Oh yeah, I mean, I have
yeah, no.
uncles who were heavily into the gang atmosphere.
Yeah.
They went to jail, believed in God, came out, and granted, they preached to me like I needed to hear this.
Yeah.
But it changed their life. So like, by all means, if religion
Yeah.
is what you use to be a better person, go ahead. But it's really
There's a
interesting to
term,
see.
right? Opiate of the masses.
Yeah, big time, right?
Opiate of the masses.
But
Yeah.
it's a really
It's the
interesting.
worst drug ever.
Yeah, I mean, I remember. Okay, so
It kills a lot of people.
my uncles, heavily gang infested area. They go to prison. They find God somehow. I don't know through who, but they do. They come out and they're telling me that I need to change my life. Like, wait a minute.
Hey, dude.
I have 2
I never
degrees?
went in there.
What?
Like, I'm a model
But
citizen
look,
lawyer.
Isn't this and follow me here and correct me if I'm wrong, but everything obviously is psychological, right? Like everything that our physiology does, our nervous system does what we think or what we're willing to think or believe in. So I was in jail for 24 days. I started
What did
praying.
you
DUI. I was fighting a DUI case.
yeah, okay.
I didn't fucking kill
Okay.
nobody, but I could have. But anyways, but I was praying, and I meant my prayers. I meant them. Outside of jail, I don't mean my prayers. I don't pray. Right? So in desperation, I found this psychological need to seek a higher power, and it gave me peace, and it gave me something to believe in, and it made the days go by a little bit easier.
Yeah.
It has its purpose. These people facing a decade, 2 decades, and some of them, you were talking about, Khalif what's the last name? Browder.
I think
You know,
so. I'm not sure.
you talk about fucking isolation. You
Yeah.
talk about
Exactly.
getting locked up solo.
Yeah.
You're gonna start talking to yourself and then some.
Lose
You're gonna
your- you're
believe.
gonna lose your mind,
You
for sure.
and just
Yeah.
believing in a higher power might save a week or 2 of delusion before you go into it.
It's a crutch.
It's a crutch. Exactly. That's the
a
point I'm
crutch.
getting at.
It's a crutch.
And-
when you have a broken leg, you can limp forever. But if you use a crutch, you'll heal faster.
Yeah.
It's essentially
And you move
that.
faster.
Hold on,
you-
let's pause. That was deep. If you have a broken leg, you'll limp forever. if you have a crutch, you'll heal faster. Okay, continue.
Bam.
Yo,
And
put
so
that
that's
on a
the
bumper
thing.
sticker.
So, and like Tony said, I don't care if you use it because it does good to you and it makes you good and it
Nothing
makes
wrong
you
with
better.
it.
Nothing. What I have a huge problem is that you do horrific actions in the name of.
Yes.
Yeah.
You do that shit, get the fuck out of my face.
And then you
Which,
throw
to
it
me,
onto
it's-
others to try to pull them into.
Yeah.
I didn't fucking molest somebody. I don't need God the way you need it. Like, that's what saved you. That's because now you don't feel as guilty because now you get on your knees and you pray.
You are coming from a school of thought that is very simple. It's essentially, if God created everything, why does He need money? Why does He need an advertising campaign? Okay, okay, that seems kind of silly, right? Like, I made everything. I made the TV, but now and I created all the cable channels. But today I need to hire a media agency to create an ad
evangelist.
Yeah, and
that has a
create an
fucking
ad
need
campaign
for
for me.
jet.
Yeah, and that's silly. Yes, I agree. But at the same time, spirituality and faith does have a place in the rational scientific world just simply because there's 99% of it that we don't know. We really don't have a damn clue. We just don't know what's going
I
on
have
out
to
there.
stop you there
Yeah.
because I'm processing what you said,
We don't have a clue.
and you earlier in the interview you brought up science, and if you believe in
Yeah.
that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
it's like you're not a scientist. But did you just say right now that there is
It
a
has
need?
a place. It's a necessary evil.
So
That's
if
essentially
it
what
has a
is.
place, then it exists.
No, it doesn't exist. It has a place simply because there's so much that we don't know. We just don't have a damn clue about most things around us.
Including religion.
Religion is
Including
this.
faith.
Yeah. See, what is religion at the most basic level? Everything that we didn't know, we didn't understand, we couldn't comprehend, we just called it God. Okay. The most fundamental tenet of God, going back to the Stone Age, at the birth of civilization, what is God? Fire. Till today, we don't have a damn clue what fire is. Science has worked over and over. I have taken a course called Principles of Combustion. Okay. What was day one first lecture? We are going to use everything that science has to explain fire, and at the end of it, we don't have a damn clue what fire is.
Most of,
I'll tell you what fires that new Drake.
I think that was God. Yeah. You really fucked up.
Yeah, like, spite me, oh Lord.
No, it's a very
Sorry,
interesting
my
topic.
mother's Catholic, so I've read the Bible. Like, it's a fun storybook.
It makes you kind of think. You see, it makes you think, dude.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what I want to focus more on is that very simple idea that religion encouraged science to go elsewhere.
Yeah.
And like say, you know what? Okay. Give me a minute.
Yeah,
And
give
then
me a minute.
yeah, right.
I
And then
love that.
That's awesome.
And
That is
it
a
was-
badass moment. Like
it was just so amazing that it happened. But that all happened because there was actually a big change in the Roman Catholic Church that started with John Paul II. Okay, the Roman Catholic Church started changing its direction and becoming more accepting towards science. The Roman Catholic Church has openly said that, hey, there are most probably other alien civilizations out there. They have openly said that too. And
You know what bothers me about the church?
illegal aliens.
It to me is just no, because you get these hints. Like the Pope gave love to gay people. He gave love to them and said, like, recently,
Yeah.
and acknowledged their existence.
the new
and-
guy is awesome.
and-
Okay,
and
listen,
yeah, right.
don't talk smack about the new guy.
No,
he's a
I'm
great
bringing-
guy. Okay,
I'm
I'll be upset
Yeah,
about it.
bringing
I'm
up-
atheist, but
this
I
is
like the
thing,
guy.
But this is what I love about him, and he's bringing these topics up, and he's addressing these things,
Yeah.
and he vocalizes it, and everything is true. It seems truly based on what the principle of faith or God is, which is to be kind, be loving
Yeah,
to
exactly.
everything.
Yeah.
That's it. It's simple. You don't need a fucking book this thick to scare me with boogeyman stories to tell me to be a good person.
Yeah.
And not screw people over and just love everything. The fly, my mom, whoever.
Fly, worm, whatever, doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
The
I'm not gonna
bees.
fly
Yeah.
everything. I'm
Well,
not gonna
Josh,
fly- I'm not gonna love
I have a
everything.
question. What would make you a better human being?
Let's see. For like the women's.
Yeah, let's go that route. Yeah, sure.
Wait.
Human being to everybody, not just women.
Oh, okay. I just
Human
thought
be hers. Yeah, sure.
Human be hers.
Yeah.
What would make me a better person?
Yeah.
Are we talking physically?
Physically. Sure. Yeah. If we're pinpointing
be
it, yeah.
part of
No,
it. It could
we're
be
doing
part
this
of it.
together.
Or
Sure.
spiritually?
It could be
Sure.
soulfully, it could be physically.
I feel like I've seen someone have an orgasm where her spirit left her body. Yeah, sure. Okay.
I think I've had one of those.
It was on video. I
Or
didn't do
after
it.
I strangled her.
What are you guys watching?
I thought you broke up with
He's
her.
watching. Don't throw me into this fucking world. I don't know what the fuck he's
dude.
watching. You guys. He's the one that said that stupid shit,
What?
not me.
He already thinks I'm a Nazi. Just stop.
I wonder why. Because you want 9/11.
Yeah.
Not 7/11.
I don't know. No, that's
No,
not right.
that was an accidental
No.
joke.
Okay, so what would you prefer? What would you have, if anything?
Maybe some of that 3D organ printing.
What part exactly?
You know, the organ.
Yours or someone else's?
Why would I care about someone else's? I care about mine.
So you want a second one of yours, or you want something different?
Let's
to
just
yours?
improve the first one.
So improve yours.
Yeah.
Do you want like a cap?
I wanted to shoot lasers.
If you could have it the way you want it, what would it look like and what would it do?
It would be like fucking chrome, shoot lasers, would like
Okay.
fucking play Michael Jackson music.
So
on
it'd be like
call.
the shark with the laser beams on his head?
Yeah.
Well, let's talk to the professional. Is this a
Sorry,
capability?
that's just not a priority
Yeah?
at the moment. I'm
don't think
sorry,
my organ's
dude.
important?
It's
Huh?
the lowest on the priority matrix.
Yeah.
Lowest. Your organ is the
You're
lowest.
a real fucking doctor. You know what? Fuck you. Fuck you. You're cool. Fuck you. Fucking, I'm out.
Where you going, dude?
Suck.
You can't even
Josh.
get out. What are you
Josh,
doing?
I'll get you a penis.
Sorry, man.
Where you going?
Josh,
Josh,
Not a joke.
where you
Josh.
going?
silly putty exists.
Why you
Have
walking
you
like a
seen
grandma?
Friends? Josh, I love you.
I think you sat too long. It's like the toilet. I think you pissed him off because I think he has a small penis.
I've never seen it. I don't
I just think
I
he
don't think he's
does.
seen it.
You guys have
Even
known
though
him
he's
much
big.
longer than I have.
Yeah, but I've never
Way
done anything
longer.
with him or anything like that. I don't know.
You know what?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
It's fine. I have another white guy.
You have another white guy?
Yeah, let's go to break real quick.
What we got?
Fine.
What,
It's fine.
replacement white guy. We're gonna call AAA.
Called AAA a Mexican.
We're on.
The red button came on.
Yeah. I need a
Bring him back in. Or who's
I need a drink. We're coming in back in.
where's the drink at?
I don't know.
Oh, there it is.
Hi, Adri.
Hello. That's a lovely waitress.
She's a bartender, idiot.
Wow, that was rude.
That's sexist.
Well, stop doing waitress things.
Don't take mine away.
That was nice.
That's worse than when Josh called me a server or Dan called me a server.
her
Fucking
name, by the way? What's
dick.
her name?
That's Adri.
Adri?
Yeah.
We're gonna have her on, right? Another episode, maybe?
Yeah, man.
Maybe.
Well, we had her on now. That's
Maybe.
fine.
So, everybody, I know you guys saw an argument take place.
I don't think it was an argument. I think it was someone that was very upset.
No, someone got upset.
Heartbroken.
Heartbroken, maybe, because he has to deal with the organ he has forever.
I took it to heart.
And then he took it. But
And-
took it being the seat.
Not the organ. No.
He took Josh's seat because we need this shit to continue.
Yes.
We're here with Rahul.
And we need a white guy for sponsorship.
Oh yeah, we need a
So-
white guy. Don't let the brown face fool you. He's white.
His last name is King. That's white as fuck.
Yeah. Hey, really? It is?
Robert King, right?
Shut up.
I'm
Really?
running for governor. I decided now.
The braces need
I
to go first.
decided
though.
right now. No, that's why I
braces
have
and
the.
earrings
I have
need to
the
go.
braces. No, I have the. We'll be fine. The earrings are fine. It's
It'll be
2018.
endearing.
It's 2018.
He'll run on hashtag braces. Braces.
Get the
braces.
young vote out.
It'll be like braces, no racist, California. Sanctuary cities. Well, thank you
Yes.
for joining us. His real name is Dino.
That's not his real name.
That was his real name. Dino Kings. That
Yes.
sounds
Yeah,
way
Dino
better.
Dino Kings. My
Dino
name is Dino
Kings.
Kings.
All right. So
Dino
I searched
Kings.
far and
You have
wide
the same last
for.
name, by the way.
Kings?
Yeah, Reyes.
Yeah.
That's not the
Damn.
same thing at all.
Same thing. It means kings.
different language.
Royalty.
Mine is
Are
singular.
you from? You said you had like how many bloodlines in India? Like 5?
Oh
Major
no,
ones?
We've got 24.
Or last names? 24.
No, not last names. 24 unique languages.
Oh,
Unique languages.
some good
They-
ass beer.
Yeah.
Speaking of beer, what are you
Unique
drinking
kingdoms.
over there?
This is not beer. This is faux beer.
Faux beer.
Yeah, this is non-alcoholic beer.
Fuck
Why
yeah.
did I do it? I don't fucking know.
For real?
That's a good question.
All right. well.
Because he had a little drink that looked like a vodka tonic, and then he made you replace it with.
Well, hold on. This is actually an interesting topic. This year, 2018, you decided not to drink.
I decided to give up alcohol unless I did traveling.
Right.
Like if I
And-
do travel anywhere outside of California, I'm allowed libations.
Right. And this is something that I think a lot of people have judged you on, right?
Yeah, especially being a bartender.
Right.
Doesn't
but,
help.
But I feel like I've never judged you on it.
No, you've always been very supportive, and I've always
Right.
appreciated
Thank
that.
you.
Yes.
Right. What made you decide to do this?
Well, stemming back to 2017, I kind of had this idea of I'm going to start doing things every year to start building on myself. So I
Personal
decided,
development.
personal development. No stem cell penises whatsoever. Personal, 100% driven
Self-growth.
goals,
Not
and
cell
whatnot.
growth.
So I lost
Self-growth.
all the weight I wanted to last year. So I decided to challenge myself this year, saying that I was gonna do two things. I was gonna stop drinking for the year unless I did traveling and get more tattoos. And here we are with
Spot on.
non-alcoholic beer and HSPs.
Yeah,
Man.
because a year
Fuck,
ago
please.
you
I
had.
have to interrupt.
I had
Go ahead.
Dude, so how often do you travel?
I've gone to Vegas this year and that's it.
Just
So
once?
I drank once.
Once.
Yes. I'm going to Hawaii at the end of July.
Because I had a friend who quit. Okay, 1 year, who quit smoking. He lived in Santa Barbara. Every Friday, religiously at 5 p.m., he would get out of work, drive to LA, just to smoke all through the weekend, and then drive back on Monday morning directly into work.
Well, he wasn't cheating because he
He
did give
wasn't
himself.
cheating. He wasn't cheating.
He just wasn't
stuck
very
to his-
committed to
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
No, he was super committed to
Yeah.
his promise.
Wow.
In
His
Santa
deal was-
Barbara.
Yeah, he's like, I live in Santa Barbara. Every Friday, .5, I would get a call. Dude, I'm leaving from Santa Barbara right now. You better be home by 7. I was like,
And pick up a pack of smokes.
He's like, okay. It's like,
fair.
A box. Go
no,
to
it's like,
Costco.
no.
A box.
And
Carton.
after the second weekend, I had to tell him, dude, you are buying the cigarettes, okay? You chain smoke like an asshole, and I'm not funding it anymore.
I only smoke on the days that end in Y. That's it. That's it. No other days.
It's a good thing to go by. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
Yeah.
it's a good rule.
let's
right?
talk about the benefits so far. Have you seen any of not drinking all of 2018?
Well, last year I kind of went through stints of where I wasn't drinking, so as far as feeling health benefits, I felt the same thing as I did last year, but I've definitely lost more weight having cut out beer entirely. This is actually, I don't do this. This was just an idea I had because I knew I was going to be on this podcast, but this is my first non-alcoholic
By the
beer.
way, if you're on this podcast, you don't have to drink. We do enough for you. Like, we make up for anybody that doesn't drink.
This is
But
very
it does
But
help.
drinking helps.
It helps
Yeah.
a lot.
Because I don't know if you think we're funny, but we think we're fucking hilarious.
Like, I think all of this is funny.
Because he's drunk.
Yes.
Yeah, but going based on the
5
health
hours
benefits
straight.
and whatnot, I've definitely lost a little bit of weight because alcohol does slow down your metabolism. That also attributed to working out. But that I definitely feel more energetic when I don't go out, and it does help not having hangovers because I definitely get really bad hangovers now when I drink because I've developed an intolerance to alcohol. Essentially, I mean, I just.
So let's bring this back to the bar, okay? As a bartender, when him and I work together quite a few times, and more often than not, someone will be like, "Oh, can I buy you a shot? Let me buy your bartender a shot. Let me do," and I have to tell them like, "Oh, he doesn't drink." It is an amazing reaction every single time. What? Why did you hire him?
Baffled.
And I think
I
that
swear to God, right now, I thought somebody, like, he burped and you say
no, and it's very rare that a business mindset will come up and be like, "That is the best bartender ever." He's not going to drink your
Yeah, I'm not gonna drink your stuff.
at all, not even a little bit. But it's very interesting in the bar setting. The automatic assumption is that your bartender is like, a heavily intoxicated person at all times. Like, oh yeah, of course he's drunk, and something I've seen while working. And one thing which you may not believe is I don't like working while even a little bit inebriated. I don't like drinking at work.
You like to be
Yeah.
shot.
Yeah, quick. Like I feel like it hinders my entire work.
It definitely gets in
ethic.
the way of performance. Like
Yeah.
when I feel like I'm intoxicated, whether it be, alcohol or cannabis, like I just can't function the same. I can't do
I feel
things
like I
as
work
quick.
better.
No, beyond work.
Not-
Cannabis.
But
not-
as
not
far as
alcohol.
being able to move fast and efficiently, cannabis definitely gets in the way. Like I feel like I'm making slower moves, and I feel like I'm thinking about things a little bit too much as opposed to just flowing and doing them. like I would do sober.
No, like I have a simple rule. Like if I go into a new bar and the bartender is drinking, I never go back into the bar.
That's
I
a
never
very good
rule.
enter the bar again.
That's a fair rule.
Really?
One thing I have, especially with a female bartender, I have noted. I'm not being sexist over here. Especially with a female bartender, I have noticed it is the simplest recipe for fights and wars to break out. If she is drinking, it's the simplest recipe for fights and wars to break
You
out.
seen a lot
I've
of
never.
female
Yeah.
bartenders fight?
No,
No.
They
Male.
they just
Yeah.
light the match.
Yeah.
Okay. They light them and they've already poured the fuel. Okay. As a rule, if I go into a bar and there's a female bartender, she's drinking, I never set foot in the bar again. After one beer, I close my tab and I walk away.
Yeah, that's
Just
actually
because
pretty smart.
I've noticed it too often, especially with dive bars. I've noticed
Oh, yeah.
it too often that every single time I've seen just a rowdy fight break out for no reason. Literally no reason. And just stupid politicking in a dive bar.
Yeah.
Behave
Because
yourselves.
they're being peacocks.
Yeah, and just like, oh
They
no.
want to
yeah.
take the drunk bartender home.
Exactly.
And she's not going home
And
with
she's
you.
not
And
going
she
home with
doesn't- yeah,
anyone.
And hold
no matter
on,
what
any
you
of
do.
them.
and if she
No matter
does
what
go
they-
home with you, you're like number 370.
Like Aristotle said, like go where no man has gone before. I don't want to go where every man has gone before.
And you know what's funny is my very first bar job was at a dive bar, and drinking was okay. Like you would encourage your
Yeah, it was
customers,
encouraged,
buy
yeah.
you a drink, buy you a shot, so you could take a shot with them, up the
And
sales. You know,
Yeah, it's
And-
smart
and-
business-wise
yeah.
in a sense, but
And more often than not, I would work with females who got pretty tipsy and they got a little bit, overzealous over their selling antics. And I mean, there's just some guys who I don't know why they feel entitled to be like, that's my vagina.
Yeah, that's
Come hither, and
because you tipped her $5 on 20. That's a 20.
I put a 20 in your panties. You're automatically mine.
Mine.
Right? No,
It wasn't even that part. It's the
Suddenly
part that
becomes
she
a-
smiled at him, that she like flirted with him.
Yeah,
that
she did her fucking
wiggled her
job.
Exactly,
She
yeah.
wants me.
Well, shit, if she wiggled her titties in front of me, you're at a fucking bikini bar, bitch. She wiggles her titties in front of
She
everybody.
sneezes and her titties wiggle.
Exactly.
with every shot, like, so basically it's so my best friend and I joked about this once. It's a 3-shot rule is what we call
Your
it. Like,
best friend Patel?
yeah. Okay. So
I like how Rahul has like a
Yeah.
equation for everything.
yeah.
There's 3.
First shot makes her slutty. Second shot makes this bar into a strip club. Third
Holy
shot
shit.
makes it a brothel.
Oh, we need to turn up. We're
So
just-
where are we going after this?
2019. Let's go.
And that is what we've noticed, how patrons behave in a bar where like the female bartender drinks along with the patrons. It's just it's not the bartender to blame. Yes, she sets the match.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's the patrons to blame.
It's never
Yeah.
the woman to blame.
It's
ever.
never.
Not
It's
even a little
always
bit.
the patrons to blame.
Yeah.
Idiots getting drunker than the
And
other
then having
party,
false
and the
expectations.
false expectations
And
are
just-
building
and
up.
just
It
jumping on
suddenly
that
it
shit.
moves from bar to brothel, and that transition is what
yeah.
we have joked and observed. It
I've had-
happens all the time.
I've had many friends ask me like, "Oh, how do you like pull females?" And it's like, well, the mere fact that you're asking me how to pull females
You're not getting
you're
it.
That's how you're struggling.
That's why you're struggling. That's why you're struggling.
That's why
Okay,
you're struggling.
yeah.
Like, what
It's like,
This
Hey,
is
man,
what you
be nice,
Yeah,
just
this
talk.
is what you do. You go to a bar and you hang out with your friends. And if a
Exactly.
girl, it's 2018. If a girl is interested in you, she's going to walk up to you and say, "Hey, what's up?"
Yeah.
I mean, we are so lazy as males now. We don't
Let me
have
tell you
to
guys
do
something.
anything.
No, if we
At
cannot
all.
swipe right and left, we are not interested.
I'm not interested. Can I super like
If
you?
it's not on a swipe, we are not interested anymore.
Fucking so lazy and
Like,
quick.
yeah, it's like, hey, this and that.
I'm gonna just tell you guys, just be patient, dude. If you like somebody, just tell them you like them, even if you tell them you like them for 3 years, because I'm guaranteeing you, like if you just like whatever.
Wow,
every
no,
3
that's the
months,
story I want to
every
hear.
2 months,
No, let's not waste time. Tell us the 3-year story.
Send him
If you
card.
like them, tell them.
Just so you
Trust
know,
me,
still like you.
persistence pays off. If you
Wow.
fucking really like
we
them,
need to hear the story.
There's plenty of stories. There's
Hold on,
plenty
hold
of
on,
stories.
No,
hold
your
on.
story.
But
It's
but
very passionate.
But there's something very important to that notion. Okay, persistence does pay off, but only if the woman sees your persistence as persistence
And not creep.
and not holy
creep.
fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Nigga, I told you already. Right? And you know, it's a funny subject.
You don't want to see her
Stop
posting on social
stalking me.
media. Anybody have a detective friend?
Because Dino and I have talked about this before.
Yeah, we've had long
recently, actually,
conversations
with
with this.
regards to women, and a lot of people call it ghosting,
Yeah.
where they just suddenly disappear. They just fall off. They just stop responding. And you as a, and I'm not saying this as male to female. I'm saying as a person, because it happens to girls too.
Yeah.
But as a person, you sit
I
there
ghost.
and you think he ghosts me.
I ghost way more often than anyone. Than I've been ghosted.
Dude,
They call me Casper.
He's warning us that he's never coming back.
that I know you want me back. Not happening.
No, you know what? I've had such a ball in time. I'm totally coming back.
He has a one podcast rule.
Right. Two podcasts in his strip club. Three podcasts in his brothel.
Second podcast out.
If all the hosts, if one of the hosts quits, I never come
Mid
back.
podcast. I'm never. No, but okay. So the notion is that, like, I feel like, and I mean, this is just off of experience recently, where there is a particular lack of responsibility from the alternate person to simply say, "I'm good. I'm not
sorry.
interested."
Just being straight up. Yeah.
Yeah, and that, I feel like that's gone. And I don't know. I mean, I haven't been dating for a very long time, and by that I mean 4 to 5 years. You know, where I haven't really actively pursued a
Right,
female.
right.
Yeah, and
Changed
it's
so
so
bad.
crazy. In
It's
4 to
just
5 years, it
Yeah.
is completely different. Where if I call someone, if I'm like, doot, doot, doot,
They might be
hello,
offended.
they will literally be like, "Why did you call me?"
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I'm
like,
like-
right, that's what a fucking
What a
phone is for.
I pay
talk to you,
I
bitch.
pay for this service.
I get a limited text and calls.
Do you get charged for receiving calls?
Yeah, and I mean,
you're so upset.
even the most recent relationship that I've had, right, who I feel for many reasons was very mature, very intelligent. I remember when we first started talking, I called her, and she legit said, "Why are you calling me?" And I'm like, "I wanted to talk to you."
Now I want to hear your
Well,
voice.
why didn't you just text
That's
me?
why I call you.
Well,
I don't. That's.
It's gonna keep getting
Click.
weirder.
I don't
and
know.
weirder.
And that is what creeps me out the most. There's so much lost in translation in text.
In a text message,
Yeah, because
you can send a poop emoji and not know what the fuck
I
that
don't know
means.
what poop emojis. I send funny
It's
things.
a poop cartoon,
Like,
Rahul.
when I thought it was a punchline, but it's about tone and context. When I thought it and I said it to myself and before I typed it, but when I read it, it's like, oh my god, this sounds massively sexist / misogynist / racist / so many other.
Well, what
nasty
was it?
things.
Do you remember? What
No,
did you say?
this is just how.
Okay, just in general.
Think
Yeah,
she
yeah.
wants you to
Okay.
shit on
General
her.
observation. It's literally like I took a shit on her. And it's like, but I'm actually being really funny based on a lot of contextual things. But
Yeah.
any random person reading it will be like, oh my god, what the
Don't
hell?
talk to him ever again.
This is a creep.
Is he fucking serious?
Yeah, but it's like, hey, no, this relates to.
Yeah.
And on a face-to-face conversation or even a phone conversation, you can always correct and say, dude, this relates to that conversation we had. All lost in the world of text.
It's
totally
gone.
Lost. It's
Yeah.
completely
Like
gone.
sometimes I want to make a pun, but if you read it, it's not funny. But if you hear it, it's hilarious.
Yeah, because
And
you
I
can
can't do
change
it.
the change the way it's said.
Yeah.
Like there's been times where I've sent things and I'm just like, oh, that.
That
Yeah,
sounded so bad.
Yeah, I see where you know what?
That sounded so
completely
bad.
just that didn't happen.
You know what sucks about that is following up that kind of action when saying, "Well, this is what I meant," just makes it worse.
Yeah.
Like, have
Or if you
can't
put
just blame
parentheses,
yourself.
Yeah, and now it's not funny.
Now it's creepy.
Right.
Now, like you have to over-explain yourself.
Exactly.
Even if you try to explain the minimalist.
And
And
I
it's
want.
beautiful when it's only 2 lines, but you have to send a 4
Yes.
page. You have
This is what I meant.
pages to explain what you said.
Yes,
Is like,
yes,
oh god,
yes.
the joke is totally lost.
This is what we go through, ladies.
And I want to
Yes,
accentuate.
Please understand.
I want to accentuate
Please
this
understand.
conversation by pointing out the fact that Dino is not our age group at all.
Yeah, how old is
He
He's a
I'm
young boy.
23.
he's in the group that we're
He's a small
judging.
child.
You know, and this
Yeah.
is one of the reasons why I want him on the show, just in general, is because I feel like the mindset is a little bit more.
let's
you know,
let the crowd know the age difference. You're 23. You're
31.
33.
39.
Okay.
No, I'm actually a Libra.
Wow. The Librans have battled and won.
I'm a Leo. I'm
Those
right.
for life, bitches.
The war
Leo.
of the star
That was a lie.
signs.
The wall has been
That
built.
was
No,
a
he's
lie.
not a
I'm
Libra at all.
all. Not even a little bit of
No,
Libra.
he's too angry to be a Libra.
Yeah, very. I'm not passive.
I have to tell you guys, it feels, because when I said
How
the whole
generous.
persistence thing and all that stuff, all of you reacted like, yikes.
Well, you said 3 years. I'm down to
Dude,
persist 3
whatever.
months, maybe.
Hold on.
Look, dude,
I get it.
Evelyn, on MySpace for 3 years. And it was just, hello, what's up?
Is it me you're looking
Months
for? Yeah.
Into it later, and then all of a sudden, she surprises me at a comedy show. Persistence.
Well, I think.
Persistence.
Okay.
My
Yeah.
last girl, persistence. I didn't stop saying what's up because she ditched out, and I'm like, it was so weird. I'm like, I know something had to happen.
I feel like
So I would just say, what's up? I hope you're good. And then finally I was like, you know what? This will be my last one. And then, I got hit back up. I was like, don't leave.
How many times did you say this will be my last one?
No, once.
Okay.
I only said it once.
Just
I
ask
never
me.
said
Not a
one
joke.
ultimatum.
Never said
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
I would always be like, the first couple times I'm like, dude, it's weird how you fucking ghosted out. Before ghosting was a term, she did it. And I was like, it's weird how you bounced out. I still would love an explanation. Then fucking 4 months later, I'm drunk or it pops into my head. I'm like, dude, what happened to you? Where'd you go? Then 2 years go by and finally I'm like, peace out, dude. Like, I wasn't a dick. I was a nice guy. I don't know what the fuck happened.
Yeah.
And then bam, my bad. Let's talk. Let's hang out. And then we were back.
Yeah.
You know, it was just, this is what I mean by persistence. And I'm old school. I'm gonna be 40, and it kind of, and now I feel your reaction because that is not common anymore. That now comes off as creepy. That comes
Yeah.
off as all this sorts of shit.
especially
Yeah.
in the age of screenshots.
Yeah,
Like before you wouldn't be able to just take a picture of this conversation and post it on the internet. Now it's in a matter of like, I can screenshot this shit
And
put
you
your shit
look
on
And then
blast
you'll-
right
and-
now.
and-
And you do look
not
crazy.
even
This
that.
has been 3 years of you saying, "Hey, take the hit." Like, and now I'm like, what do you have to gain
Like,
from
this
putting me on
creep
blast?
has been saying it.
All you can do is say, "I'm not interested, dude. Fuck off," and I'd be like, "Okay, I
and
respect
if-
that."
so
And
much
if they
time.
ever had said that, and if they ever had said,
You would have
I'm not
done that.
interested, I would have.
Yes.
cut
done.
it.
There are
Yeah.
people.
Cut
There
it.
are people that don't take the hint at that point, and I get that.
Yeah.
But making it seem like I'm that person, that's
Yeah.
not fair. Like that's not
Yeah.
me. If
If
you
I'm
tell me
not
to
getting
fuck
any-
off, I'm gonna fuck off.
If I'm
Like,
not getting any response back, all sorts of shit could happen. Why should I assume that you hate me? Why can't I assume your phone don't work? That you're with somebody and you can't respond. Like you would like to, but you don't. If I could assume this, then I can also assume the other thing, or not assume anything at all until I get a response.
And I really feel like this is a topic where I would love for a female to be on the show.
For
Yes.
sure.
So yeah,
Yes.
like,
Sure.
so
A couple.
You
Yeah.
need you
Yeah.
need
At
two.
least two.
So, ladies.
females.
Yeah, two.
two Ice Cube.
you're going to scorch that one.
No, I want them
No,
to
yeah,
come.
no, just to get that,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
to
Yeah,
get
yeah,
that,
yeah.
like actual. What is going through your head? Because I'm pretty sure there's been points where that's flipped on them too.
No,
Yeah.
realistically,
And, like,
I have been through moments where I have had to like, but I have that in mind. Most recently, which I'll tell you a little bit off air, the details. But a woman had come to my place of employment for multiple weeks and has addressed me in a way that I know is very flirtatious, and my job means, be a little bit flirtatious back, but never to a point where I'm like over exaggerating.
Yeah.
Let me add you on Instagram, let me add you on Facebook, let me get your number. And it's like there's levels. Yeah, Instagram's cool, Facebook's cool, number,
Numbers pushing it, but if you get it, then
but
that's
again,
where
that's
it's
the
there.
mindset of me, not so much everyone else.
Yeah.
Right.
A number to me is important. To maybe someone younger, not that big of a deal because
Yeah,
I
to
could
me,
just
it's
not
everything.
respond to
I'm
you.
in.
Yeah,
I could
I mean,
Today
you can
it's
block.
just one
yes,
more.
Yeah.
It is just the old school. Today the number is literally old school.
Yeah.
Everything else is a much bigger deal.
Yeah.
And
But
what
fuck,
I find
dude,
crazy, it's just like these are stupid accounts and every day there's a new stupid social media nonsense that
It's
comes
too
around.
many ways
It
to
is
get in
too
contact.
many. And
When I was growing
the
up, it was
world is
one.
overly connected.
Yeah, just
okay,
like
what
phone
problems
calls.
have we solved?
Or a pager.
Or a fucking pager.
We are all massively in communication. What problems have we solved? Nothing.
None.
We still have
Because
poverty.
it's everything-
We still
it's
have
human
illiteracy.
based.
It doesn't.
We still have
It
starvation.
hasn't resolved
Yeah,
problems,
nothing.
but it has taken things out of like you don't have to worry about getting in touch with somebody if you desperately need to get in touch
Back
with
in the
them.
day, we
No,
would
I
make
just-
appointments 1 week in advance, and we all reached
but
the
how many-
spot when appointed to.
With
okay?
fucking Thomas Guide or
And
whatever you need.
Thomas Guide
way,
was a shit.
Without GPS,
Should I
without anything,
leave
we
for
reached.
this part?
I
don't know what the fuck.
Who the fuck is Thomas?
Who is Thomas?
Thomas Guide was this book.
It was basically
And it
Battleship
was-
without
it
the
was like,
bombs.
find A and B, and then
Yeah.
there you go.
It's
Oh,
like, hey,
I
I can do this. Yeah.
My grandma had one of those.
Yeah. Hey, yes.
fuck you,
And
Dino.
no, fuck social media.
And Dino.
And Dino. No,
Specific.
no,
All right.
Dino.
Well, check it
Fuck
out.
man.
We're running out of time. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna wrap it up. But
This is fun.
definitely, we're gonna have both of these guys on again at separate times. Dino, I want you on. I've been wanting you on for a while. But
This is
I
a
was
private
just-
conversation.
I was just waiting for him to get the right amount of tattoos. He's pretty much there.
I'm almost
Wow,
there.
this
Yeah.
is
Comes
making
back
ladies.
He's coming back cockless.
Hey,
I
don't want
will
to be on
consider not wearing a shirt next time.
There you
That
go.
could
You
be
heard
in a
it.
dungeon or
Doesn't
something.
matter.
I have no
Yeah,
idea.
do it a favor.
Dino might consider being shirtless at least for half the show when he
Yeah,
comes
fuck
back
it. I'll be
this time.
pantless. It's
It's gonna
fine.
be ego right here. It's gonna be wing. He's gonna be Magneto.
I'm out. I'm already out of that show.
Yeah.
That episode, I'm out.
One person topless, 2-person. Yeah. I
And
get it.
whatever I need to do, we're gonna do a training class on how to hold a mic during a podcast, so that people can hear you. You've never been on a podcast, you've never been on a comedy show. You did a great job. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you coming.
I love meeting you after 2 years. Thank you so much for
It's a great
having me.
episode. Dan, at
That's
this
great.
point is where you're gonna cut it.
Again, we'll put all the social media and stuff. And Josh, I hope you come back.
Click the link